Good morning.
Good morning.
It is a beautiful snowy morning
Yes.
here in the mountains of Gilad. I might do a picture on my Facebook later,
Okay.
you know. So a lot of you may see me posting or making statements or judgments about that this is the day of judgment. And it is. And you will say, but we know the day of judgment is 1,000 years of the Most High's judgment on the earth. It's a day, but a day to him is 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is just one day to him.
Yes.
So when you say, what is this day of judgment that you are talking about? Well, in this day of judgment, right? So in this time, the Most High is now going to establish the kingdom of the sons of Adam. We're all sons of Adam. No, we're not. Okay? So the sons of Adam, this comes down all the way down to the covenant of Abraham. And then within Abraham's covenant, it is established and lines out to Bani Israel, who is Muslim, but different. It's not this Islam, it's a different one. So we have this coming. So when you talk about this day of judgment, what makes this significant is the Most High now is judging each man and woman individually. Now, I'm not talking about all the nations. Forget about them, right? They're not under my jurisdiction. Neither do I have any say over them at this time. So they're not, have nothing to do with me. Let me talk about my area of expertise, which is my people.
Right.
I'm talking about my people, okay?
Yes.
So when you talk about judgment, the day of judgment and how it pertains to my people, it plays out like this. So the Most High, since I'm reading you this law, right? And I'm telling you how it lay out and giving you full and in-depth explanation, the same as Ezra did, the same way the Levites did in the day of Josiah, the same way. Okay? Now that this law is being proclaimed again in the earth with fullness of understanding, the Most High can judge his people based upon what they do. What they do with what? Well, not only their behavior as the law is being proclaimed and mandated, but what you are doing with your wealth. Rabbi Sheikh, what are you talking about? I'm about to explain it in a minute. Well, Rabbi Sheikh, get with the program because we confused. So there is a law, and we'll get to that law when we get to the next book. But you have seen it a couple of times about the dedicated service of the Israelites' wealth to the building of the sanctuary, to the redemption of the brethren, to the building of the kingdom. This is a dedicated service of each Israelite man, okay, and or woman. So now when the Most High is coming to judge you, I want you to know that this is one of the judgments, right? Because the Most High gave everybody some wealth. And what you do with that is going to be judged by the law and not by how you see it or how you feel. Rabbi Sheikh, what are you getting at? Okay. Well, here's what I'm getting at. We are buying land to build our own self-governed province, right? Many of you want to wait until you see some destruction or you be proven detrimentally wrong before you even consider listening to me or you even consider giving and building, right?
Yes.
And you're saying, but we don't know if you running a scam. Right? You don't. That's true. Or do you? Because if I can cite the instructions of the law, if I can cite the scriptures that justify and instruct to do this, like Jeremiah chapter 50, where it says, and they shall buy land in the south and in the mountains and in the environs, which is the areas around Jerusalem. It said they will buy land and call witnesses and seal unto it. So I'm doing that. Now I've done the hardest part, right? To get land in the south, whoo, that was hard. Want to know why? Because you couldn't buy land without having your birthright restored, which I got. So my sister's seen my paperwork.
Yes, I have.
So I got my birthright. Now you won't be able to do this. I guarantee you won't be able to do it because the Most High says he'll do it for one. So if you think it's for you, you can try. Try and get you a birthright and buy land in the south, which is in the Negev of Israel.
Can I say this? They sit there thinking this is a scam. But did you think that when you got your PPP loan?
No,
Have you been thinking about it? You applying for a LLC?
no,
Have you thought about it when you went and put your money in the bank? Because that's all a scam. When, they came to tell you to vote, that was a scam. You see how they measure scam when those other people, them Nephilims, are doing it. Oh, it's okay. This is the way to do it because this is the way they do it. But here, Yah is telling you the way he wants it done, and you question it.
you question it the whole way, thereby inciting his wrath against you.
Right, because when you...
Hold on, not for you.
No.
Not for your salvation.
No.
For your destruction.
Yeah, because when you rebel against his instructions, we've already read it more than once, you die.
All right. So now let's talk about what the sanctuary is and what it does. So the sanctuary in the time of Moses, again, they were trying to come into this area where we are now, here in the mountains in July, now called Jordan. Jordan at that time, Amman wasn't this far north. Okay? We're more north in Amman. Now, Amman has grown over the centuries, over the millennia, and in our absence. I don't care about what they did, but they allowing us to be in the location without conflict. We can peacefully grow and govern ourselves. We're very small. We're not causing no problems. Well, now I'm in the same place Joshua was. Joshua is buried here to do the same thing the Most High said. Buy land and let us govern ourselves by the law. Verbatim. And you say, we don't know about you, Ak. We got a sanctuary down on 125th Street. What? How do you have a safe place in the place marked for destruction? Because, when the Most High told Lot, hey, Lot, I'm about to rain down my wrath on Sodom and Gomorrah. Right now, we know America
It's gonna be
is
destroyed.
Sodom and Gomorrah. This
Yeah.
place, oh my God.
Yes.
This the capital city for Sodom and Gomorrah.
Mhm.
Or Amorah in the
Yeah.
ancient tongue. We didn't say Gomorrah. That's a new thing. It's Amorah. It's Sodom and Amorah. But now we here.
Yes.
And now you're going to sit there and wait for the mystical sky Negro.
Mr. Sticks.
No. You waiting for a mystical sky Negro to save you.
Whew.
And this mystical sky Negro, not only does he have to fly around the earth like Santa Claus and somehow discern who's good and who's bad from our people to kidnap them in the spaceship, but at the same time, he's supposed to build a city for you?
Mhm.
That's not what's written.
That's right. That's right.
That is not what is written.
And if the city is being built in heaven, that means you gotta die. You don't live.
It's supposed to come out the sky and somebody mysteriously is supposed to hook up the plumbing, the electrical, the communication
The
system.
cistern.
And it's supposed to come down. It's lowering down. And as it gets close, they start hooking it up.
Woo.
And then the city just crush everybody underneath it. And then this city, right? The supermarkets is already full of food.
Where did the food come from?
I don't know.
But it says that we are to raise our own.
No. See, so this sky heaven city is gonna come down pure gold. So now the city's gold, so don't nothing grow on it, no way.
Right, because if it's gold, oh, you know what they're thinking about? Tupac's song rolls out of the.
Listen, I'm good. I don't care. I'm good. The only
It's
thing
gonna grow through the cracks.
The only thing that I'm saying is the Most High is judging us based
Yes.
upon our actions. And your actions is supposed to be fulfilling the instruction. And the instruction says, do you see what I'm saying? When you see one of your brethren, okay, from the house of Judah, okay, one, and he be doing the thing I say to do, and he tell you to do something and to keep my law, Mosai said, listen to him.
Mm-hmm. Sure does.
Said, listen to him.
Mm-hmm.
He says, if the man does not hearken to my law and tell you to worship something which Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob did not know, it said, don't hearken to him.
Right.
So now here I am. And the Most High is judging you because you're supposed to use what he gave you to help rebuild your own nation. That's what you're supposed to do. So now his judgment is coming against you. Now this is hilarious to me, right? Because immediately there's some ignorant person that's going to say, well, I worked hard for my money. Why can't I enjoy it? You absolutely can. But a portion of your money goes to the nation you're living in to build them up, right? You goes to your nation to build them up. And then nothing goes to your own, toward building your own. And every fool tries to build some type of community in the land of captivity, further strengthening and improving the wealth and the value of the nation of slavery that they were born in. Every fool does it.
The one they complain about that don't give them any rights. Isn't that something?
I'm just saying.
It's
And
crazy.
I don't care of what race or religion or whatever you're talking about. I'm just talking to my people. Because you can complain till the sun comes up about America, but you're not going to get together to build your own nation. Well, we're going to build it with or without you. I just wanted you to know. I wasn't waiting for you.
And then the thing is, they talk about gathering as a nation to march. What is marching going to do? That's not the instruction. Nowhere in the script does it says that you gather together to march
And complain.
and beg the land of your captivity to accept you as a nation. Nowhere in the script does it say that.
Yeah.
So where does that come from?
I don't know, but you know what? Enjoy. So you're supposed to give. I'm supposed to ask. And you know what? In the scripts, you know what it says? It says you won't listen.
It sure did. Read it for myself.
And in this, you've sealed your own fate.
Yeah.
And you've also sealed the prosperity of what's coming, right? Because those who are coming and who will give, and those who will know about this won't be anyone that I know.
And you know too, Rabbi Sheikh, what they don't understand, you mentioned continuing and giving these instructions is Yah's grace and mercy.
Right.
Because when he shut your mouth,
It's it. Like
that's it.
I'm either talking or I'm working. I'm not working and talking. So while I have time and I'm going through these laws and I'm teaching you judgments and I'm laying out the foundation, I just wanted you to know what the situation and the status was as far as the rebuilding of the nation. It is getting done, right? Because I give all, right? Right? This my sister here, she give it all. And you give, we have a couple of other givers, but they give something, right? And I'm not citing that, but it's still not a nation. I mean, there's a few. There's a few. I'm not talking about the few, but it's not a nation. Right? So you have to understand, every one of these names of every one of these tribesmen, right?
Yes.
I have to reinstate back.
Yes.
Right? So they're going to come here and they're going to be a Joshua, and then they find out they're a Gamliel. What? No. No.
A Nashan.
You find out you a Nachshon. Oh, you came here a Steve or a Stephen, and you find out you a Nachshon or a Ram or a Fadis. You will have to take these names, right? That's the instruction. You'll take the name and restore the family by lot. So we will cast lots, and what you get
Is what you get.
is what you will be. Rabbi Sheikh, how you know this going to work? Nobody asks you how I know it's going to work. The instruction is what the instruction is.
That's right. It's what the instruction says.
When Moses raised his hands at the Red Sea, he don't know how it's going to work. He doesn't.
But you know, that's what they're looking for.
I know y'all want that kind of miracle.
They want that.
I'm going to show you another miracle. I'm going to show you a different kind of miracle. This miracle I'm getting ready to show you is going to be a miracle of rebuilding and establishing the nation without the majority of you.
Ooh.
Why? Oh no, everybody swear they part of the remnant because they believe or because they read.
Or because they're black.
And since the Most High judge you based upon what you have done and what you say, it's both.
Yes.
What you say and what you've done, right? Believe me, he's going to judge you according to this law, not according to what you're reading. No. The Most High will not judge you according to what you're reading. He will judge you according to everything that came out from Mount Sinai, as he has always done. According to everything that I spoke with you at Horeb. According to all that you prayed about at Horeb. You prayed that only one person at Horeb, that only one person get the understanding. And I keep looking around trying to figure out why nobody understands what the heck I'm talking about.
Wait a minute, somebody, what do you mean when you was at Horeb? They don't know that they were at
It's
Horeb.
all right. You'll figure it out. You're gonna figure this out. There's some hard, bitter
Yup.
pills to swallow.
Yep.
Okay? Some hard, bitter pills to swallow when you come to this truth.
Yes.
It'll give you a headache. And after you take a nap and wake up, you still realize you was wrong. Because it's gonna be right. Okay? So according to what was prayed at Horeb, I'm here doing what it says to do. And I know it's impossible, and yet I'm still trying and it's still being done. And I'm confounded myself because I have to say, well, as long as it keeps being right, I'm gonna keep doing it and let the chips fall where they may. Right? However, I am pleading for mercy on your behalf, that you have some merit of good works that you give to the building, that you share the information. I'm not asking you to give all that you have, but I'm asking for all to give some freely.
Yes. That's the key. Freely.
Freely.
Yes.
Okay? If you don't, understand the sanctuary is still going to get built. It's going to get built without you. Right? And you won't be in it. I'm just saying, because you will have no merit on your side. Right? And then after you give to the sanctuary, you're going to have to listen to my law anyway, because this is the law we live here, because I know if you give, you really intent on coming, that you have a mindset to come, because where a man's treasure is, there his heart will be also.
Yep, that's what they always say.
Right? So if you give to the building, I know you're coming. Right? You get to know what's happening behind the scenes. You'll be here. Because the moment we get the land in the building, you moving in, we got work to do. Right? We go into work mode. I'm telling you this now because the next season that comes in, it's going to be worse for you. Oh, but there was an earthquake over there today. I know there was. But that's not the point. And we'll be back after this.
They say, oh, there's an earthquake over there where you are going to be destroyed.
No. You're right. There's an earthquake here. I knew the earthquake was coming. How did you know the earthquake was coming? Because the Most High said, oh, Zerubbabel, once again in a little while, I will shake the heavens and the earth.
Yeah, we actually read that about a week ago.
So I'm not surprised. You thought he was pretending?
Yeah.
All the signs you're seeing in the heavens. The explanation that this law says is if you see signs in the heavens, I am destroying that nation's decrees. It's written.
So all the spaceships and all that stuff that they're
Is
seeing.
the Most High literally disconnecting their decrees. He's voiding their decrees. Why is the Most High voiding these nations' decrees? Because he gave the world into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar in our stead. Because Nebuchadnezzar was perfect at being wicked in the ideas that the children of Israel had. So if the Most High said, if I wanted this, I would just use Nebuchadnezzar. So now you have this Nebuchadnezzar world. But now I'm sick of it. I don't want it. So I decided to get up and be whatever the Most High required and do whatever it said to do. And in the process came into this law, following this instruction, and everything that it says is happening is happening. So you're all seeing signs in the sky. Well, that's those nations' decrees getting tore up. It's not rescuing you. Okay? For all the signs you see in the sky, nobody has disappeared in the twinkling of an eye. Not nan person.
And and what's sad is that our people are so more concerned about what's going on in the sky than doing what the instructions say to do, that their lives will be saved. That's crazy.
No, it's not crazy. It makes perfectly good sense. And Most High said, my people are foolish and they are devoid of instruction, which is why he sent me to tell you so you have an instruction. I'm reading a book, and I know some of you have gotten it on Kindle, and that's great. Fantastic, right? But I just want to show you their mindset, right? A same book available on our website.
That the monies will be going to build.
To build the kingdom.
They don't want to do that.
They don't want to buy it there.
But they want to do it to the Amazon dude.
They buy it off of Amazon though. See? I'm just telling you. I want to show you just where you sit. But you think it affects me.
No, it affects you.
No. I'm obedient. I've been out here this is my 8th year. This is my 8th year walking in this law. My 8th. And I have been sustained for all 8 without you. Right? Now, this for you. Because the land in the South, I got already. It's documented, it's proven, I got my paperwork. I have digital copies, I have physical copies. My stuff is preserved. You, however, you require the sanctuary.
So what you have shared with us about the dedicated service, the prime example is of them taking that dedicated service, that finances,
The money.
and giving it to Amazon instead of giving it
Here.
to build here.
Right.
Oh, you're done. You're done.
Yeah, that's what happens.
You're done.
Right? Now, again, I'm not against you buying the book from Amazon for you to just see and have the exact same copies. But however, I have the exact same copy that I'm selling. But you'll buy it from Toad Rose and you won't buy it from me. And then they'll go to Logos and they'll see logos.com, right, which is owned by the Vatican. And they'll see the Aramaic, 22 volumes, $1,200. And that's on sale. They'll rather buy that than get it for $50 from me. The exact same thing. I did the due diligence, right? I even got the scroll on my page. So if you want to read it in the ancient scroll with the handwriting, I have that too. You don't even know that you don't even read in English. This is Chaldean. Literally, if you buy the books from anyone, anywhere, they'll tell you this is written in the Chaldean paraphrase. Chaldean, this is Chaldean. This is not English. This is Hasidic writing that you're reading. This language I speak is Hasidi. It's Kasdim. It's Chaldean, not English. The Chaldeans call it English, but it's their language. They can call it what they want. So now we're going to we're going to begin in Numbers chapter 31, verse 1. What? No, that's it. I just want you to know that it was the day of judgment. It's coming against you, and it's coming rapidly. So you're going to either get your stuff together and make a move and give, because if you try to come out here and you have not given, you'll find there is no place for you. Right? Amos said 90% of the house of Israel will die. 90%. Only 10% will survive to become the remnant. Right? So how does 90% die? You will die in multiple stages of plagues at different times. That's how you will die. Right? So I want you to look next to you, right? and look at 10 people. I need you to guarantee that you're going to survive out of those 10. Okay? Out of 100 people, only 10 people are going to survive. And out of 10, one. Okay? I want you to go ahead on and ensure that you're going to make it and where you're going to make it to. Because I don't know how you think you're going to come to Jordan or go to Egypt or go anywhere and survive during a hostile war state environment. I don't know how you're gonna plan on eating or drinking, because to move anything, it requires resources. It requires knowledge. You don't have knowledge of the vegetation like I do. I could walk outside and I could point to plants that's edible outside. It was part of my training for 7 years. How to survive in the desert, what's good to eat, what you don't eat.
So when bomb bursting in the air, you're not going to be able to fly.
Well, even if you did fly, when you get where you're going, how you going to live? You've lived in a city your whole life, right? And there's very few who have gone through military training to learn survivalist techniques or whatever. And where you going? Because who are you connecting with? You need a lifeline on the other end. But let's go see about what happened. Let's leave that alone. That's something for you to think about, right? Because if you didn't send money ahead to prepare for your stay on vacation, you know you're not going on vacation. How do you expect that to work? If you move into another country, to another city, you have to already have that rental agreement in place and know where you're moving to. Now apply that to this. If you plan on coming anywhere on this side of the planet, okay, I promise you, you better have a provision over there. Oh, I can go to Dimona. Dimona can't accept you.
Oh, they don't know about that.
No, I mean, I can say it out loud. I don't have to like bite my tongue. Dimona cannot accept you. Why can't Dimona accept you? Well, the problem is they have an agreement that they only allow you in for tourism and they have to guarantee that you leave. Period. I don't care about whether you know or you don't know or they don't want this to be known. Dimona has thousands and thousands of congregations around the world of people that are working with them that's supposed to be a part of their community and congregation. And they're all sending money into Dimona and they cannot live there.
Wow.
And neither can Dimona build for them anything. And I'm sitting here telling you, if you give here, I buy the land, you come here. We're going to work, we're going to live, we're going to build and live in it. This different.
But now they got those, I just go get asylum.
Okay, well, go get asylum. Go and pledge your allegiance now to another foreign government. You're still not living under the laws of the Most High, and you're still being governed by somebody else. That's not what the instruction says to do.
Sure doesn't.
Oh, well, I'm scared because if I cheat on my man, y'all mean somebody going to stone me? Yes.
Yes. Yep.
If I sleep with this dude's girl because she chose me, y'all gonna stone me? Yes.
Yep.
So that's why you want to stay out? Stay out. I'm glad, because that proves to me why the Most High is going to kill the 90% of you, because you really were wicked.
You want to do what you want to do.
That's it. It's proof. And Yah spake with Moses, saying, take retribution for the children of Israel from the Midianites, and afterwards thou shalt be gathered to thy people. Which Midianites is we talking about? Oh, I know. So 40 years ago, When they went to go into the land of Jordan and they made war with them and they died and the Most High just left it and they moved on, they killed all of those Israelites and they defeated them in war. And now Moses has defeated Og and defeated all these other people and moved around and dealt with Balak and Balaam and defeated them. And now Moses is spinning the block 40 years later to come back where? Right here in the mountains of Gilead, right back here. Okay? And you're saying to yourself, well, what are you talking about? Well, he's setting up to come here. Joshua has to come all the way back. But where is they located at this time? They're located in Amman. Oman. Not Amman, the city right here. They're located in Oman. And they're going to now wage war against those people because the people are connected. They are in coalition. So now they're over here. It's been 40 years. Let's take a look. And Moses spake with the people, saying, arm of you men for the host to make war against Midian, to give the people of Yah avengement upon Midian. So it took them 40 years to be strong enough to wage war. But now they're ready to wage war. They can start, they can start their campaign against their enemies to give avengement. 1,000 of each tribe of Israel send ye to the war. That's it. Just 12,000 men. 1,000 men from each tribe. Did you hear that? That don't even sound. They have 180,000 on one side, 180,000 on the other, 150,000 plus to the north, and 150,000 plus to the south. And they said, we're going to send 12,000.
So that lets you see and know that they don't have to take a whole lot of us, just a
All right.
remnant.
Okay, so just take 12,000. Okay? 1,000 of each tribe, of all the tribes of Israel, and send ye to the war. And of the 1,000 of Israel, fit men were chosen who gave up themselves, 1,000 of a tribe. So they sent just the fit ones.
That's the fit men.
So the top athletes, the ones playing football and basketball and all these soccer and all these other sports right now. He just took 1,000 of each tribe, 12,000. Now you out here playing with balls. Well, 1,000 of a tribe, 12,000 armed for war. And Moses sent them, 1,000 of each tribe, to the war. Them and Pinhas by Eleazar the priest. Right? So Pinhas, the son of Eleazar, the priest, unto the war. With the Uriah and the Thummim, consecrated to inquire for them. And the Jubilee trumpets in his hand for assembling and encamping and ordering forward the host of Israel. So let's see what he sent. 12,000 men.
Yes.
They sent the priest out there, and he had the Uriah and the Thummim. So he out there decked out in his armor of gold. And then silver trumpets. Right? And it says the Jubilee. Why is this called the Jubilee trumpets? Because it was in the time for the proclamation and the Jubilee was getting ready to come in. It's in this season right now. So the Jubilee coming in springtime, that's next month. But it was in this time right now. They getting ready to go to war. because it had been 7 years for Moses to get them out of Egypt and crossing the Red Sea. That's 7 years.
So this was the 49th year?
Yeah. Now it's 20 years. It's 7 years, excuse me. Let me give you the correct math. 7 years. So from after the Jubilee, it took Moses 7 years. So you say, Moses spent 10 years or 9 years in Egypt. Yes. Okay? The year he arrived. Then you have the Shabbat year and the Jubilee year. That's 2. Or he arrived just before it, something like that. So it's like 10 years, but it's the Shabbat and the Jubilee year is 2. So he's not allowed to move. Then from there, the Most High counted. From here, year 1. 7 years until they exodus Egypt. First 7 done. That's Moses getting all the preparations for them to come out. 2 years on Jethro's mountain with the people.
Yes.
All right, now we're at year 9. Okay? And then 40 years
yes.
in the wilderness. That's 49.
9.
Rabbi Sheikh, why is this important? Go read Jubilees
50.
chapter 50.
Verse 4.
And verse 4. I've already completed the first 7 years. This is the first year of the 2. And it's to gather you to this place, which is why I keep telling you, give money and come on out. Because we only got 2 years here. After that, we have to begin the 40-year process of building and developing to go into the land. So this right here is a wilderness and a purging station. We will build up a second one in Egypt at a later time. Because you can't come in without purging of your filth first. Can't go into the land. You can't go into Jerusalem without having learned the foundations, accepted the customs and traditions, and helped build to redeem your brother. It will be a process. But you don't hear me though. But go check it out. Go read it for yourself. So now let's go on, continuing. So these are the Jubilee trumpets in Pinhas' hand. This is the son of Eleazar. And in his hand for assembling the encamping and ordering forward of the host. And they warred against Midian, circumventing them from 3 corners. Now, if you don't know, that means they had a forward troop, and then they had a flank to the right and a flank to the left. Okay? So you had a forward troop, a flank to the right, and a flank to the left. As Yah had instructed Moses, and they killed every male. They killed every man. And they slew the king of the Midianites with the slain of their armies. Here's who they killed. Evi, Rechem, Zur, who is Balak, and Hor and Rabbah. Okay, so Balak, what happened? They spun the block. I told you, from Balak and from Balaam, they spun the block. No, spin the block. This back in Oman. Told you. 5 kings of Midian and Balaam, the son of Beor, they killed with the sword. And it was when Balaam the guilty, this is how it happens. What happened was when Balaam the guilty saw Pinhas, the priest pursuing him, he made use of his magical arts and flew in the air of the heavens. No. No, Rabbi Sheikh, we don't like this book. It's got magic in it. No, you fly magically now too. What? It's just technology, right? You see, the Indians weren't lying when they told stories about the Vimanas, these magical flying devices they would use. You use it, right? Go look it up. There's people with Iron Man suits right now on YouTube. It's just technology. You use it in emergencies. So now he flew in the air of the heavens.
It isn't that what the mystical Negro supposed to do?
That's
This
what they.
Laban.
No. Wait, this Laban.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
Laban's.
So now, but Pinhas forthwith pronounced the great and holy name, and he flew after him. What does he have on? The Uriah and the Thamiah and golden armor, the one that the Most High said make. And he flew after him and seized him by his head. He grabbed him and bringing him down, drew his sword, and he sought to kill him. He was about to stab him. So now Balaam, he don't want no smoke. And he opened his mouth with words of deprecation and said to Pinhas, listen, all right, hold on. If you'll spare my life, I swear to thee that all the days I live, I will not curse thy people. This dude who gave this bad counsel, which we still suffer from today, right? They always putting seductive women with cheap food and drinks, and they take these women from all these idol worships and all these poor ideas, and they from all of these rogue governments, and you fall into it.
Yeah, got you always eating out. Not cooking you no whole meal.
Right?
Ooh.
And Pinhas said to him, are you not Laban, the Adamite, the Adamite, the Aramaic, who didst seek to destroy Jacob our father, who went down to Mitzrayim to destroy his children? Because you see, this is the same Laban who not only tried to destroy Jacob and then the angel stopped him and they cut the covenant. Then he was the magician that Moses fought down in Egypt.
Right.
And he always gave the counsel to kill the children and feed them the crocodiles. Laban. And after they came out, you didn't send Amalek. So he sent the Amalekites to make war against us at the Red Sea, and Joshua held them off with the strong men. And hast thou not been sent to curse them? Meaning that, did you not come all the way down here from Lebanon? You went from Lebanon all the way to Oman. You came down here just to curse us with Balak and them. No, all right. But after thou hast seen that your works did not prosper, and that the word of Yah would not hear you, you did give the evil counsel to Balak to set his daughters in the way to make them go wrong. When there fell of them 24,000. So now he's telling you, remember the 24,000 men you killed with your plan and your plot? We spun the block. Therefore, it cannot be that thy life may be spared. And at once he drew his sword and he killed him. Now, Not today. And the sons of Israel led captive the wives of the Midianites, their children, their cattle, and all their flocks, and destroyed all their goods and all their towns, the houses of their rulers, and the high places, the houses of their worship. They burned with fire. But they took all the spoil and the prey, both of men and beasts. So they kept the women and children, kept them. Oh, you don't like this part. Y'all mad? You know what? They so sadistic, they probably like this part.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But it took 40 years from the Exodus to get here. So from the 2 years on Jethro's mountain, after 2 years on Jethro's mountain, it took 40 years to get to that point to where they were ready to make war. And you have not given to even get to Jethro's mountain today.
And you know what's sad with our men is that they will give their money, what the passport bros, for these women, the same trap that Laban set out, and not want to give to have their land and to have their possession, their promised possession. But they will brag about being passport hoes, giving their money to these seductive women.
But that's the whole point. This is just Balaam's counsel.
Yeah,
So
still fulfilling it.
Again, I say this all the time. You can't fix a problem on one side. You have to approach at the root, pull it up, and you have to start over. Meaning, until we get our own country, until we have our own province, until we have our own law, which is this one, over our people, nothing works.
Nothing.
Okay? So now they done brought in everything, and after they burnt down the houses and everything, they brought back the women and children. Okay? And they brought it to Moses. Eleazar the priest and all the congregation of Israel, the captives, the prey, and the spoils, and at the camp in the fields of Moab by Jordan. Okay? So at this time, they're in the Saudi Arabia area. Okay?
Wow.
Jordan used to extend over that way. It didn't extend up into the north where we are.
About the cleansing.
All right. So we're going to do some breakdowns. We're back now. I need to get some water. All right. So now we're talking about the breakdowns of the spoils of war. Now, the first thing I want you to know, remember they made the heifer water some time back.
Yeah.
So there was a preparation, and now they're using it. You're getting the instruction. There was a time gap. So I don't know why people don't seem to see that the Most High is about preparation. So if you know destruction is coming, the Most High will tell you this is what you need to prepare and to survive the wrath I'm getting ready to pour out upon the world, which is why I am here. Okay? You're not going to survive going to Africa, I promise. But you could try, and I'm going to watch. Okay? You're not going to survive remaining in America, but you can try, and I'm going to watch. The children of Israel, my people, will only survive here with me under this law.
That's the instruction.
You can't say that. Yes, I can.
That's the instructions.
Yes, I can. I can say that. I've earned the right to say that. This is probably the first time you've ever heard me say that. But why? It's because I've walked the process for so long. It's because I've come to the place, everything is exactly as the instructions say, that now I am acknowledging the point of where we are and what needs to be done moving forward, because there's no way to stop it. There's no way to turn it back around. There's no way to avert it. There's no way for it to go a different way.
Well, it does state that the appointed one will do that which is appointed.
That's how it works. But
Yeah.
they don't know it. If they think they
Okay.
can, you just appoint anybody and pour
No, 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 no.
you just pour olive oil on their heads, and that's what they think. It's not. The word is appointed and anointed. The memra, they fulfill prophecy. Right? So I'm walking and I'm walking in the steps that the prophet laid before me, doing things exactly the same way the prophet said to do it and the way the prophet did it himself. Which prophet? My prophets, the prophets from the house of Israel, all of them. If you didn't know, they are all talking about the same
Same
point
thing. Yeah.
in history.
Yeah.
This time, they weren't even talking about back then.
No.
They dealt with those things, but they were talking about this time. But you don't know because you refuse the text because you're afraid. I know you're afraid of an idol that can neither protect you nor save you. I don't know why you would be afraid of an idol that cannot protect you or save you, because neither can it destroy you. So you know the Most High's wrath is coming, and you're hoping the idol will protect you. Well, good luck with that. I'm telling you. So now they take in the sum of the prey of the captive, both man and beast, and take their amount, thou and Eleazar the priest, and the chiefs of the fathers of the congregation, and divide the spoil between the men of war who took the spoil in the conflict of battle, having gone forth with the host, and between the congregation. So first of all, I want you to know everything is gathered and it's divided 50-50. So all the spoils of war, this is a law for the division of the spoil of war. The men who fight, right? 50% goes to the men who fight. When they come back, there's 50% goes to the men who fight. And 50% goes to the congregation. And it's spread out among the congregation. Separate that which is to be given up to the name of Yahweh by the men of war who went forth of the host. Okay? So when they separate, if they have 500 women, they have to give one woman to the priesthood. Okay? It's to the name of the Most High. One woman out of 500. So likewise of oxen, of donkeys, and of sheep. 1 out of 500.
So one woman goes to the priesthood.
1 oxen, 1 donkey, 1 sheep out of 500.
Wow.
From their half, see that?
Yes.
The portion of the men of war shalt thou take them and give to Eleazar the priest as a separation unto the name of Yahweh. So this goes to Eleazar. Okay? But of the half falling to the children of Israel, thou shalt take 1 out of 50 women. And of the oxen, and of the asses, and of the cattle, and give them to the Levites who keep the charge of the tabernacle. So now, if you went to battle, you get 1 out of 50 out of this, you get a lion's share. Of everybody else's portion that's spread out and around, they got to get 1 out of 50. And Moses and Eleazar the priest did as Yahweh commanded. And the amount of the prey and the rest of the spoil which had been taken by the people who went forth in the host, the number of the sheep was 675,000.
Wow.
Right? The number of the oxen, 72,000. The number of the donkeys, 61,000. And of persons, the women who had not known a man, all the persons were 32,000. So it specifies of the people. So when it says man, it was just people. Okay? And the half of the portion for the men who had gone to war, the number of the sheep was 337,500. And the amount of that brought up to the name of Yahweh was of sheep 675. Okay? Of oxen 36,000. Those for the name of Yahweh 72. Of the asses, the 30,500 for the name of Yahweh 61. For persons, for the name of Yahweh 32. Okay? Now it's telling you what the amount was and what the breakdown was. You say, wow, the Most High only took a little bit. That's it. The Most High only wants a little bit from out of the abundance he gives you for your obedience. So you think you giving a lot until you receive the fullness of the measure from the after the time. So there's a time of obedience you have to give, you have to organize, you have to get together. Then when the Most High starts to use those implementations, you begin to receive back in great number. Of the great number you receive back, the Most High only need a small measure. So the hardest part is just getting started. It's the hardest part. And Moshe gave the number separated to the name of Yahweh unto Eleazar the priest, as Yahweh commanded Moses. And the half part for the children of Israel, which Moshe divided from the men who went forth to war, the amount was 337,500 sheep, 36,000 oxen, 30,500 asses, donkeys, and 6,000 women. And Moshe took the half part for the children of Israel, which had been captured, 1 out of 50, whether man or beast, and gave it to the Levites who kept the charge of the tabernacle, as Yahweh commanded Moses. And the officers who had been appointed over the thousands of the host, the captains of thousands and of hundreds, drew near to Moses. And they said to Moses, thy servants have taken the account of the men of war who have been with us, and not any of them are wanting. So the captains came up to Moses and says, listen, we divided everything amongst everybody. Everybody is good. They don't want for nothing. Nobody felt cheated or nothing. Right? Nobody is wanting. So of the 12,000 men, they all got all of what they wanted. They got the women they wanted. They got the sheep, the cows, whatever they wanted, the gold, the pots, the pans. Everybody they full of stuff. They full. And now that they're full, they said, and we have brought a gift unto the name of Yahweh. For as much as Yahweh has delivered the Midianites into our hands, and we have been able to subdue their lands and their cities, and we entered into their chambers, and there saw the daughters fair, tender, delicate, and every man who found on them jewels of gold loosened the coronets from their heads, the earrings from their ears, and the necklaces from their necks, the bracelets from their arms, the rings from their fingers, and the brooches from their bosoms. But in all this we abstain from lifting our eyes upon them or gazing on one of them, lest we should sin with any of them and die the death with which the wicked die in the world to come. And may this be had in memorial for us in the day of the great judgment, in the 1,000 years of the great judgment, to make propitiations for our souls before Yah. So I told you, they said we did all of this in this way as an example to be remembered for those who come back to do the same. We know the women are beautiful and tender and delicate, but stop lifting your eyes upon them so that you don't incur the guilt because you can't control your lust. You have never practiced it and you can't do it.
Rabbi Shay, there's two things in this reading thus far that I like to share, and correct me if I'm wrong. One, I see the one pot system.
Oh, yeah. Because when they distributed the spoils, it's not like every man was trying to get some of everything. Every man took for what he wanted to make more of. So if the guy has cows, okay, I'm gonna take a few cows. I don't need this. If you need the pots and pans get distributed among the women. Everyone is just getting what they need.
Yes. So I see, I literally see the one pot system right here in the spoils.
Yeah.
Then the second thing, when it was given the description here in 50 of all the things that they took from the daughters, these are the same things that are very similar that we as the women of Israel have. The same, the ring, the
rings,
jewels,
the brooches,
the cornets, all of that.
their jewelry. Now, and they took this off the women, and they're giving this to the name of the Most High, to Moses. Here, take this. This just off of the women.
Yeah, these are the same. So you see the similarity of custom.
Now listen to this. Because I never ever point this out to anybody. Okay? So Eleazar the high priest received his portion. Right?
Yes, sir.
All the men who went to war received their portion.
Yes.
All the people, the nation itself received their portion.
Yes, sir.
There was no portion appointed to Moses.
Yes.
There's nothing appointed.
Nope.
Nothing. Nothing is appointed to the man sitting in my seat. There's nothing appointed to me.
That's right.
Except one thing. The gift from the men who received the victory in the battle. The men who prospered. Out of their prosperity, each one gave a little, and it was much. And that is given to Moses.
Nowhere did Moses complain, I want this, I want that. Nowhere.
Listen, if you don't prosper, I don't get anything. And that goes for any king of Israel. The free gift, it's from the free will disappointed to Moses. And they just gave him, from all the things that the girls had on, their jewelry and stuff, the trinkets, just from the women. And that's so that you understand what needs to take place in this generation. What? Because Moses didn't ask for it, neither did he need it, but it's the order. This is the portion that the king receives. This is Moses' portion that is the same, because Moses was king of Israel in that time.
And it's made very clear that what they have done is the same thing that we are
To
to
do.
do in the day of the great judgment.
It's the same thing.
Right. So what you have been sharing and saying is nothing new. It's what's written to be done.
That's it. The little trinkets, the little jewelry, just in the little thing, and this enough. It's sufficient enough. If a great multitude send a little earring, not the junky ones for decorations, the gold ones. Okay?
Yes.
The gold and the silver, the real jewels. Okay? But this enough. You take from this, this will be enough for anything, and none wanting. I want no want.
Right.
No, I don't want nothing. I'm full. And Moses and Eleazar the priest took the gold from them, every article fabricated. So the rings, the jewelry, okay? And the sum of the gold of the separation which they taken and had separated unto the name of the Yah was 16,750 shekels from the captains of thousands and of hundreds. For the men of the host had taken spoil, every man for himself. And Moses and Eleazar the priest took the gold from the captains of the thousands and of hundreds and brought it into the tabernacle of ordinance, which is the house of instruction, a good memorial of the sons of Israel before Yah.
Wow.
Why? Because who's in charge of the tabernacle of ordinance? Moses was. And Moses is getting ready to leave this to Joshua.
Yeah.
Moses need this for what? For the building. We need to build up and be prepared for the building of the next nation. So, that was that.
Now this is what it really means, breaking the generational curses.
You want?
This is it.
You want to break generational curses? I mean, it sounds good.
Yeah, but you don't understand.
But until you have your own nation, and until you can't build it till you give to it, and there's nobody else talking about it.
Right.
I mean, there's people talking about going down to the government and giving them some money to file some paperwork. That don't work. Woe unto them who go down to Pharaoh for help.
Yeah.
So I'm not going down to Pharaoh. I'm not asking nobody. I'm just telling you, I'm gonna do it anyway. It doesn't matter. I'm not with any organization other than the member. That's it. I'm not with any organization other than the member. That's it. This has been my support the entirety of the time I have been here. It puts food on the table. It makes what I need happen. It makes me to cross paths with who I need to cross paths with at each appointed time. It has dictated every page and chapter of my life before I knew about it, and I had to go back and read about it. And then as it was happening, and now it's telling me how to move forward and what to plan and what to expect. This is an amazing and incredible document.
Yes, it is.
However, It don't concern you unless you participate. But it does say what happens to you, and I'm talking to my people, should you participate? And it talks about what happens to you should you not
Not.
participate. Enjoy the rest of your day. One step at a time, one day at a time. You know, I told them this was going to get tighter and tighter as we
Yeah.
read it. And
Oh,
ain't no
yeah.
religion in here, right? This is
No.
all government practices. I told them. You know what I'm saying? So y'all going to get what y'all going to get because it is what it is. And wait till we start practicing the judgment when we go back and start reading Genesis and we judge from the law. Watch that.